Ladies and gentlemen are ready.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jane, and this is Christian, and together we did Chapter 9, the chapter on the millennials. So I will first cover the whole summary of the Chapter 9, and then Christian will later go on to the case study. So our agenda is we're going to first define the millennials, and then we're going to go into what they expect from the workplace, and what are some next steps that the employer can take to make the millennials feel comfortable at the workplace, and then we'll go into the case study. So some characteristics of the millennials is that they were born after 1991. That makes them 19 years old today. And they can be considered Generation Y, but the reason we consider them the millennials, their own separate category, is because of the rapid technology changes. So they're really constantly on their phone, on their computer, etc. And in addition, they're the children of parents who protected and sheltered them. So these parents grew up during a time where they were in neighborhoods that dealt with drugs and school shootings and bombing. So they wanted to give their children the best. They wanted to protect them from all this and just basically give them an environment that was very safe and secure. And so these millennials, they grew up very confident, happy, and secure. And like I mentioned, they're very tech savvy, so they're always constantly on their devices, etc. And according to a study by the Pew Internet and the American Life Project, 87% of them use the internet. 51% go online each month. 45% have their own cell phones. 89% use email, but they prefer to use IM, and 32% use IM every day. And just to mention, in these focus groups, the millennials actually said that they use email to contact old people, as in Generation X, Generation Y, etc. And to add to that, they are very, in their minds, they see Generation X as very selfish and self-absorbed, so they think they're always just thinking about like going to work, making money, etc. And for these millennials, what's on their mind is that they want to contribute back to society, they want to make lifelong contributions, they want to be as involved as they can with the community, and they really want to be spiritual, and that goes hand in hand because Generation Y and Generation X expect these millennials to give back to society. What do these teens expect from the workplace? Very similar to Generation Y, they actually expect time off so that they could go do community service, flexible hours, work from home. But at the same time, what separates them is that they expect challenges and opportunities on the job immediately. And what I mean by that is that they want projects so that they can show that they have a significance in the company. They want projects so that they can get feedback instantly to know that they're doing well, they're progressing, etc. over time. But for the most part, what they really want is just a friendly, fun, and safe environment. So what can we do as an employer for these teens? Basically, we should give them projects on a regular basis. So if we give them, say, a project every other day or maybe once a week, they'll know on a weekly basis how they're doing, and not maybe once a year during that annual evaluations. And not only that, but another thing is employers and the corporation itself should collaborate with higher education, colleges, universities, and team up and help in terms of building programs and financially giving them money to give these millennials a better education and know what employers are expecting from millennials, so they know what they should be getting from classrooms and etc. And also not only that, but also these corporations could also just help with in terms of community involvement, giving support and making side-by-side programs with these millennials to help them further enhance them making lifelong contributions back to society. And now Christian will go on to the case study.
So this is actually a very short case study. Our subject is Becky, who is a recent college grad and business owner. She owned a trendy boutique that specializes in jeans and accessories for preteen to late teen girls. So to cater to this demographic, she hires 16 and 17-year-old girls. Only problem is that her staff is very unreliable. they're either late or absent. Small excuses such as a headache or a fight with a boyfriend the night before are used to miss work, and there's a high turnover rate. Our staff, whether it be a fight with a customer, they will use that as an excuse just to split. Which leads to the following discussion question. What steps can Becky take to find employees who will A, show up, and B, stay with her for at least a few months? Any suggestions?
Hire older.
Higher generation
Okay.
higher smarter generation millennium people, Generation Zers.
How would you determine that though?
I don't know. I mean, I used to work for a secondhand electronics store, and when I got hired, the pay rate was at $9 an hour, and they hired people who had a pretty strong knowledge of technology and would show value in learning more about it, because you have to know a lot of the different types of technology. They lowered the pay rate and they lowered basically the requirements during the interview, and suddenly the turnover rate shot through the roof. And also the theft rate shot through the roof too. They kept hiring thieves. So I think if they'd stuck with the requirement of you need to know some things about technology to get hired, the staff would have ended up being better, the turnover would have been much lower, and they wouldn't have had people stealing so much.
I think just you had your hand raised.
Yeah, I think that the screening process can be a little more tight, and they can get a little more knowledge of the potential employees beforehand. And I would also tie in compensation with the length of stay. If I could have increments saying, if you leave after a month, and you forfeit X of your paycheck, and if you stay longer, then I'll start accommodating you with higher and higher pay.
Okay. Thoughts?
Nah, let them go.
Focus more on the performance. For example, she can have like employee of the month, or ensure if you won't be late for the whole month, I'll give you extra bonus or extra commission, or maybe based on customers complaint.
They can consider trying to motivate them not just by money, but giving them some perks, some, I don't know, Jones Bravo tickets, whatever.
There you go.
And also make sure, as already was mentioned, to do a better screening, but in terms of make sure that they're hiring people who are interested in selling jeans. And that would actually boost their kind of efficiency at work, as well as maybe they will be interested to come to work.
I think Jesse had his hand raised before, but Jesse.
I'd find one employee that I really like, and I'll ask that employee to recommend friends of theirs to bring into the job. And if I can turn this environment into a place where they hang out while they work and get this fun feeling of it, and it's a word of mouth to bring in other good employees to stay with us, I think that's much better than just blasting out advertisement and bringing anyone in.